Yo, I'm Erik, and I'm here to give you a mega important message today. Are you ready to get pumped up? Yeah? Well, let's go!
Who let that guy in? My name is Erik Tyler. I'm a branding and marketing consultant working with the OAA, and I really do have an important message to share with you today. I'd like to talk to you about 3 terms that are often heard in branding and marketing, but in order to help make them more memorable, let's start with an analogy. I assume that most of you arrived to the conference by flight, and that means you had to stand in the dreaded airport security line. When you're in an airport security line, there are 3 things that happen that determine whether you'll be getting where you want to go today. One is that you need to possess an ID. Second is that you need to turn that ID over to a security officer. And third, the security officer has a decision to make. Either they're going to let you through the gate, or they're not. Now, when it comes to marketing, your ID is what we call your brand identity. It's what you believe about yourself as a company. It's who you think you're passing off to everybody else. And it takes careful planning in order to come up with a clear identity that can be quickly and confidently expressed within your own company before you ever show a public face. It's surprising to me how many companies really don't have a clear brand identity. Let's find out if you have a clear brand identity right now. Fill in these 2 blanks. The main goal of my company is to be known for blank. And we're different from other similar companies because we blank. Now, if you couldn't fill that in immediately, you probably don't have a clear brand identity. When I fill in those blanks as a branding and marketing consultant, I say to myself, I want to be known as someone who is experienced, knowledgeable, and innovative. And I'm different from other similar companies because I'm fun, personable, and I'm willing to take creative risks. If you can't fill in those 2 blanks, it's worth the time for your organization to sit and discuss who you believe you are so that you can have a clear marketing thrust. That brings us to point number 2. When you turned over your ID to the security officer at the airport, you are doing what we would call marketing. You are taking who you believe you are and you are showing it to the rest of the world, to consumers, to investors, to stakeholders, to vendors. Marketing needs to be informed by your brand identity. If you're just stabbing in the dark and putting stuff out there, it's marketing, but it's really bad marketing. Your brand identity needs to inform everything you do in marketing, from a social media post to an advertisement. But marketing also includes every person working for your company who will ever speak to anyone on behalf of your company. Every time you send someone to a trade show, every time someone speaks on the phone, they're part of your brand identity. They should be representing your brand identity. The third part of my analogy is the security officer. Now, you've got an ID, you've turned it over, and now the security officer needs to make a decision. In the analogy, the security officer represents anyone who will ever be looking at your company. That brings into play brand image. Some people think that brand identity and brand image are the same thing, but they're not. Brand identity is who you say you are. Brand image is who everyone else thinks you are once they've seen your marketing. If your brand image does not match your brand identity, just like in that airport security line, you're not getting through the gate with your potential customers. You're not getting through the gate with your potential investors. Your brand image will only match your brand identity if you carefully think through every part of your marketing to ask yourself, will this support the brand identity that we have set for ourselves? So today, ask yourself, can I quickly, clearly, and confidently outline what my brand identity is? Are we using that brand identity to inform every thing we do that will approach the public. In my case, I chose to record against a blank white wall instead of in a studio because I feel that that causes you to see me as more personable. I included the crazy guy at the beginning because I want you to see me as fun, and I want you to see me as willing to take creative risks. And yet I hope what I'm telling you shows me to be knowledgeable and credible and experienced. So even in this video, I'm using my own brand identity to inform how I'm approaching you right now. If you do that successfully, you will create a strong brand image that matches your brand identity. Then you can consider your marketing efforts a success. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the conference.